you go to the merchant lady and go to resources, you'll be able to buy supplies for your journey ahead. Furthermore, if you go to the shipwright lady and click the second text, you'll be able to buy some extra supplies for your ship. It's good to keep in mind though how you will need a captain boat to do this. When you spawn in, make sure you go around the outpost with a storage crate, as getting those extra supplies from the barrels can come in handy, even giving you a few cursed cannonballs. Do remember when you're filling your storage crate up to take out fireworks and flares, as they just take up space for better supplies you can get. Raising an emissary flag for your faction you want to work on is really helpful, due to the extra bonus you get as you level up the grade of your flag. And once you get a grade 5 on the emissary, you get a 1.5 times multiplier on all your loot, giving you a boost in gold and reputation. This is a great way to max out all your reputations and get pirate legend very quickly. If you decide to raise the Reaper emissary, you will get a boost in any type of loot you sell to the Reapers. It's definitely a good way of maximizing your profits. However, doing this, you'll be a huge target, as you are now pinged on the map to all the players in your session. Do also remember, if you run this flag, it means you're open to PvP, as Reapers is a PvP faction. When parking an island, make sure you raise your sails instead of lowering your anchor. If you raise your sails and still have momentum, then lower your anchor and raise it again. This will stop your boat from moving at all. The reason to why you want your anchor and sails up, well, it makes it easy to get moving. For example, in case an enemy is heading towards you, you'll be able to make a swift escape by just lowering your sails, instead of having to spend an extra 30 seconds by raising your anchor. Buying a captain ship will allow you to sell all your loot to sovereigns instead of going to each faction. They're like the Reapers but an outpost and have an amazing harpoon to grab your loot. If you want to make a quick 20k, head over to an island with this symbol, and go inside the big tower, complete the puzzle and the 5 waves of skeletons to get this cool orb. This is called the Orb of Secrets. This item can be sold to any faction, Reapers, Merchants, Order of Souls, or Gold Orders. And you can sell it for a nice price of 20k gold. It's a really quick thing for new players to do, and should only take you around 5 minutes. When in a fight, especially in Hourglass, there's a few things you have to do at the start, and it's different for each ship. If you're on a sloop, you want to turn right to get left side shots, and have your sails raised to 1/3. The sails being raised is usually the MC's job. Now, if you're on a brig, you always turn right to get left side shots like the sloop, but you have all your sails raised. It's the flex and MC's job to raise both sails. If you're on a galleon, you turn left, not right, and to turn left to get right side shots. You have your front and mid sails fully raised. It is the flex and build's job to raise the mid sail, and then one of them go help the MC with the front sail. When using chain shots against enemy players, it is important to remember that a sloop takes 2 chain shots to get demasted, whereas on a brig and galleon it only takes 1. When fighting skeletons at a skeleton fort, to complete the waves as fast as you can, make sure you have a sword equipped, and just sword dash through the skeletons. Sword dashes eliminate skeletons in one shot, and it can also eliminate a bunch of skeletons at the same time. When fighting keg skeletons, aim at their feet with a sniper to kill them and to save the keg. When you're doing the Fort de Dam, make sure you grab all the kegs on the island and put them in this wall. Also, put the mega kegs you get from the skeletons there as well. This will make it that no one is now able to pick up the kegs, and that you can lead Greymauer to the kegs and blow him up with it, instantly killing him. If you want to change server but not lose any of your supplies, all you have to do is go to your map table, go to any voyage, and vote to dive on that voyage. This will send you off to a different server, but also keep your supplies. If you have a hole in your boat and the boat is also on fire, don't repair the hole, but rather use the water from it to put out the fire. Once all the fire is gone, you can then repair your ship. When fighting on a galleon, each player has a main role: the bilge, flex, helm, and a main cannon. When firing cannons at the start of the match, the helm should be on the far right cannon, the bilge should be on the third cannon to the left, the flex should be on the second cannon to the left, and the MC should be on the far left cannon. If you're fighting a galleon, always try to put them on fire, as fire on a galleon is deadly. This is due to the size of the ship and how quickly the fire spreads. If your opponent's galleon is fully ablaze, it will make it very difficult for them to fight back and put them into panic mode, giving you the upper advantage. You should always cook any raw meat you have and eat it, as this will give you overheal, which will come in handy during combat. For example, let's say you run out of food and you're really low on health. The overheal will start regenerating your health, allowing you to keep fighting and stay alive. Tip number 19 is to subscribe to Zootig on YouTube. By doing this, you unlock a bunch more guide videos to help you on your Sea of Thieves journey. But if you've actually been enjoying this video so far, consider subscribing, as it would mean a lot to me, and also allowing me to pump more videos out for you guys. The MC, main cannon, on any boat should have their own crate. This crate should be filled and laid out on how the MC will work best. This means the crate should consist of cannonballs, chain shots, and food. The crate should have specific food depending on what the MC wants, but the lowest quality should be pomegranates. The crate should usually not consist of bananas, coconuts, worms, fireworks, or blunderbombs, and the only real time you should have firebombs is when you're fighting a galleon. And bone crawlers or cursed cannibals are usually down to the MC's preference. Like the MC, the helm should also have their own crate, and this crate should consist of wood and food. Nothing else is really needed. When starting out, the first thing you should do is change your FOV from 60 to 90. This just makes the game feel a lot nicer and much better to play at. Also doesn't make you feel like you're playing like a turtle, but rather everything will feel just a lot smoother. Doing skeleton fleets are an amazing way to practice your cannons in this game, as it is the closest world event to fighting real players without fighting real players. Doing fleets will allow you to know where to aim your cannons to apply pressure, especially when you're fighting a skelly galleon, as it isn't that much difference from fighting a real player galleon. On the topic of fleets, you can actually stop the skeletons from shooting back at you by putting fire on their boat. This will allow you and your crew to be able to have some time to get out of pressure. Just keep in mind that they can put the fire out, so just keep relighting them when you have the chance. If you want to make a lot of gold and reputation, then the best way is just to stack world events and Fort of the Dams. They are made for that purpose. The Fort of the Dam is especially good for Order of Souls faction as well. If you want to improve your aiming when using a gun, then doing generic PvE is a good way, as the NPCs are just very good target practices, especially skeletons. Something cool and useful to know, especially if you're a merchant dude, is that you'll be able to tell what shop each NPC works for just by the first letter of their name. Look, for example, Chris starts with a C, which means clothing store. Whitney starts with a W, which means weaponry. Sue starts with an S, which means shipwright. And you get the idea. This makes things such as cargo runs easier, as you instantly know where to go just by the first letter of their name. When tucking, you want an outfit like this, and not an outfit like this. It's important that you don't wear something bright, but rather something more dark, as it will make you harder to spot when tucking. If you're low on health by the tiniest bit, don't waste your good food on it like your mangoes or your pineapples. Instead, go and grab some bananas to just fill in the small gap. This way you save your good food for better times when you actually need it, like if you're in an intense fight and you really need health. If you ever fall off your ship into the water, honestly the fastest way to get your mermaid is by swimming away from the ship. The thing is, you have to be a certain distance from your ship in order for that merm to spawn. So if you just swim away, it makes it a lot quicker. It's a lot quicker than if you just wait in the water for the mermaid to spawn. Those are my 30 tips for you to become a better player in Sea of Thieves. If you enjoyed, like always, consider subscribing for more future guides, and I'll catch you lot in the next one. Bye bye, my beautiful pirates.